This is a really simple exercise to set up. We use 2 tram lines here at the top, and I've then got a narrow rail to canter over and then 2 tram lines at the bottom. The aim of this exercise is to be able to help working on your turns. You've got tram lines to be able to help sort of steer you around. And then over the rail, you're working on your rhythm. And then again, between the tram lines, and again, that's working really on your straightness. And then thinking about your turn after the tram lines. All the time, I'd like the rider to be able to think about focusing on a long line. So really aiming somewhere in the trees, somewhere a long way from the white rail. So you're really thinking and feeling about the maintaining the canter with your horse rather than necessarily trying to find a stride. So starting on with this young horse, he breaks to trot and is a bit spooky, so I try not to hassle him. He can get a bit quick and tight, so I make sure the exercise is purely to be able to encourage him to canter along in the same rhythm, and the guide rails do their job of keeping him straight. So here you can see he's actually so spooky, he sort of nearly runs away from the guide rails there, or the tram lines, and then jumps over the white rail, which I'd expect of a careful kind of young horse that's quite inexperienced. And the aim is just to be able to build his confidence so that he gets used to this exercise by repetition. And over time, he's able to canter and maintain the same canter and the same stride pattern over the rail until he gets used to it. So really, I'm just trying to make sure that my focus is high and I'm feeling really the canter that he has, and I'm trying to maintain that by feel rather than necessarily working too hard on it. So just to elaborate that, my feel would be that I can feel he's in front of the leg, and that I can feel with my legs and my seat that really he's straight, but also and that I'm finding a point to ride to, so with my eyesight, and I can then notice whether he's deviating left or right. So the idea is hopefully I'm sitting level, I've got the same pressure really on left and right, unless of course you've got one that runs one way particularly, then obviously you might have to put more pressure on with that leg. But I'm really thinking about sort of, just feeling the canter, making sure that I'm not focusing too heavily on the distance of the rail. And you can see sometimes, there I got a bit quick and he has to slow down again. But it's really about playing around, finding out a really simple exercise that, as I say, is simple to set up and simple to do, and to give you a bit more of an awareness of a straightness and your canter rhythm as you're going around. And you can have it any length you wish. It's not to be anything measured particularly. It's just to be able to give yourself, a practice about cantering on a long line. Will your horse just maintain the same canter, and can you just maintain the same straightness from the top of the tram lines to the end of the tram lines?